Hey NPBL people, today I have my battle with Mike, coach of Wisconsin Whiscashes, and this is just my team for the battle. You should be seeing his team on screen. First off, I have Choice Band Zero Aura, outspeeds his entire team and can hit really hard. Obviously, Tangrowth is probably his best option for handling this. Fire Punch will 3 KO certain variants of it, and it's more of just hitting it. Knockoff is good for Thunderous Eye, so because it's immune to Plasma Fist. Close Combat for Cobalion, and overall I can run Adamant because of the massive speed difference, and his team really struggles with electric spam, so it should be pretty good. Next up, we have Mamoswine Choice Scarf this week, so we can revenge kill Thunderous and Charizard and a lot of his threats. I mean, Earthquake is so good in this game, and nothing on his team can handle Earthquake or Icicle Crash. Earthquake and Icicle Crash combined will handle almost everything on his team. Rock Slide's there just to kill Charizard from full, and Ice Shard is there for things like Flygon. If it starts sweeping me, I want to have a way to stop it. I can run Adamant with the Scarf and still outspeed everything on his team. Finally, to handle his offensive threats, we have King Cotton, the Altaria. It's specially defensive this week to take hits from Thunderous and Charizard and Tangrowth. And Roost Heal Bell is really good just so for longevity. Hyper Voice and Flamethrower are great for damage. And then we have our Starmie here. This is mostly just a rapid spin, and it can pretty much come in on Tapu Fini, Toxapex, a lot of his water types, almost every time. And Thunderbolt and Ice Beam is just great coverage in this match. Outspeeds his entire team as well. Then we have our Savali Fire with Parting Shot, Flamethrower, Rest, Rock Slide. Eevee did not get 3 KO by Flamethrower from Charizard. Flamethrower, Savali Fire is really good in this for Tangrowth, and because he has a Sun, my Flamethrower is me doing increased damage. Rock Slide is there for Charizard, and Thunderous. Parting Shot is just such a good move in general, and then Rest is so that I can rest up, heal, and then get Heal Belled, get rid of the sleep from Altaria. Finally, we are Extinct Breloom, the Archeops. Focus Sash with Stealth Rocks, but it actually does have some good utility due to Charizard and Thunderous being slower than it. So Rock Slide U-Turn is really good. U-Turn mostly just for Tangrowth, and then Endeavor if I do get down to my Focus Sash. So he doesn't really have that many good hazard setters, so I only really need one Rapid Spinner, and if I get Stealth Rocks up, he doesn't have very good options for removal. I mean, Tapu Fini is probably his best bet, but I have a good switch in that with Starmie. Zero Aura can easily kill it, and King Khan with the Spadef, it should obviously don't want it to try to 1v1, but it should be able to take a hit. Okay, so that's the team, and I will see you guys in the battle. Hey guys, I wanted to do this live, but the audio didn't record, so I have to do this post-com. So here's my battle versus Mike. Looking at this matchup, Mamoswine and Zero Aura are both really good, and defensively, Altaria is really good once Cobalion and Tapu Fini go down. And also, Stealth Rocks are really good once Tapu Fini goes down. So those are my 3 things I'm focusing on this match. And I decided to lead Mamoswine as it has a good matchup against most of his lead options, including this Thunderous, but I didn't want to risk it being Scarf, so I switched into my Zero Aura on the Grass Knot. And now here I click Knockoff as he goes into Tangrowth. I get rid of his Assault Vest, which is really good. Here I go into Altaria because I can handle it defensively really easily, and it's immune to Earthquake. So I just click Hyper Voice because as I expected this to come in, I just wanted some damage. But now that I think about it, I probably could have tried to switch out, but the damage was nice. And then I go into Starmie as it is designed to take this on, but it doesn't do too well. Here I predicted the Tangrowth or the Thunderous to come in, and I clicked Ice Beam. I probably shouldn't have predicted it early. I probably should have just gone for Thunderbolt, but it's not too big of a deal as I can just recover. But he gets a special attack drop, which is going to happen with 30% odds. But it forces me to keep recovering, and I really can't do too much damage to it. with a special defense drop. So I pivot. I use Silvally Fire as a pivot, and here I did the calc, and I could take a Scald relatively easily, and I wanted a parting shot so that I could reduce the damage so that Starmie could have an easier time winning this fight, and in case he switched, I would be able to parting shot and get out. Also, parting shot here, I wanted to check if Tapu Fini had speed investment. If it did not, it meant it likely had defense investment. I wanted to know that calc. So I do decide to stay in, and he does have speed investment to outspeed me, and I click parting shot. So I get to know a little bit more about its set. Nice to go into Zeraora here. Again, I overpredict and I click Fire Punch, expecting the Tangrowth, but he misses the Nature's Madness, which it's bad, but it doesn't end up mattering too much. So then I have to go back into my Starmie on another Nature's Madness, and I can just click Recover as he goes into Thundurus. So I want to switch out as I can't kill this, and he could be Scarfed, and he goes to Dark Pulse. I think solid play, especially since Zeraora could have come in. So here I expect him to go Tapu Fini, and I go back into Zeraora, and I didn't want to overpredict, so this time I just click Plasma Fist, and I do kill it, which is really good. So now that's gone. Now I can get rocks up. I don't have to worry about him removing them. So then I have to go into Altaria again on the Thundurus, and then here I go into Archeops. I did this because I knew he's going to switch out, and Archeops can get rocks up on the rest of his team. So here I get a rocks up, showing that he's not Scarf Cobalion as he clicks Iron Head, brings down to low HP. This is perfectly fine as I can click Endeavor, bring that down, and I end up dying to Rocky Helmet, which is fine, as now Cobalion is weak enough where I can take it out with Ice Beam. This is really big because this is his only remaining way to really hit Altaria hard. You'll see later that Charizard does do a decent amount of damage to it, but nothing on his team now is able to 2-hit KO me. Or even 3-hit KO me, to an extent. So he brings in his Flygon. I want to check if it was Scarf, so I stayed in, and I knew I could take anything. So I just click Ice Beam as he goes into Thundurus, and now it's at 18%. And we still haven't proven that it is Scarf or not, and I really don't need Starmie anymore as it took care of the things that it's supposed to do. His Stealth Rock setter is gone, so I don't need to Rapid Spin. Tapu Fini is gone, so I don't need it to pivot in on that. So I let this thing go because I don't want to risk going Altaria and have him using a Z move and doing a ton of damage. And just knowing that he is Scarf, I could go into Altaria. When I look back at this, I probably should have gone Altaria, knowing that he was most likely Scarfed, but I just didn't want to risk something so important when I could lose something that's not as important in Starmie. Again, I also could have gone Silvally Fire, but I had this hope of resting it up. So here he does show that he is Scarf. He outspeeds Starmie, kills it, and then now he's just locked himself into Grass Knot, and I can kill it with Altaria. So here he goes into Charizard, and I was thinking that this would be a pretty easy fight, but he does have the Roost, and that puts me in a worse spot. So my goal here was to force him to have to Roost again, and then I could double into either Silvally Fire or Zeraora. But he gets a crit, and then he gets a burn. So here I'm forced to delay trying to get out and get into something that can kill it. So here I heal well just because I don't want this passive damage. And then I can just continue to Roost on this, as without a crit, he can't 3-hit KO me. Even with a crit, he only did 40%, and now that the sun is gone, I'm taking even less damage. So here I go into my Silvally Fire, as I can take a Flamethrower. He does show that he has a Focus Blast and hits it and is able to take me out. That's perfectly fine, as I can pivot into Mamoswine. It took a really long time to make this decision, so I was kind of worried, but he does decide to stay in, and then I can kill it with Rock Slide. Later you say they didn't really suspect Scarf. I think that I brought Mamoswine in, kind of showing that it was Scarf, as I just seen Focus Blast, but I think it's understandable. There's a good shot that he misses that Focus Blast, so I understand him not expecting Scarf. But luckily Rock Slide does hit, and then he goes into Tangrowth, and here the game is pretty much won for me, as Altaria can easily sit on both of his Mons. So I just wanted to weaken it with Zeraora, as I don't really... Differential isn't too important to me at this point. This is early in the season. So now I can do some damage and then go into Altaria. He has nothing to hit me, and I can easily take it out with 2 flamethrowers. And now all he has left is a Flygon, which is not going to be able to take a Hyper Voice, and even a crit Iron Tail would not have been able to kill me, since he is Choice Scarf. So that is the game. I pull out with the 2-0 win. It was definitely really close. I think when when Silvally Fire went down and I had to bring in Mamoswine, it got really stressful. So it was really intense. It was very close. It was really fun too. It was a really, really good game, and I look forward to more of these. And Mikey has been playing really, really well recently, so hopefully he can string a couple wins together. I know he's had some difficult luck with his schedule so far, having to face me and Champ Lando in the first 2 weeks, which is really tough, facing 2 playoff opponents 2 weeks in a row to start off the season. But he's done really well in both games, kept it really close. So good luck to him. I think he'll end up being a contender for playoffs, especially if he can get some wins against someone like Excessive or Shycrow or Marv. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will see you guys next week for the battle.